What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Talk for a brand new video, and today we will be covering the top 10 Air Jordan releases for spring 2020. We've covered sneaker news in the past many times, and we haven't actually covered sneaker news in the last recent weeks or months, so we're trying to get back to the roots of the channel. If you guys didn't know, this channel was actually founded on covering the top 10 sneaker news stories. Subscribe if you like these kind of sneaker news videos, if you want to stay up to date on upcoming releases, and we're actually going to be covering the top 10 summer releases for Air Jordan or Jordan brand in a future video this week. With COVID, there has been quite a few delays, so if there was a release you were looking for to the spring, it might have been pushed over to summer, so trust me, you guys don't want to miss the summer video. And with that said, let's get to the top 10 Air Jordan releases for spring 2020. Oh, and one disclaimer, we're actually going to start covering my resale predictions as well, so if you guys are resellers or want to be resellers or want to get my perspective on the sneaker specifically, this is going to be another way I can tell you guys about it. Starting off at number 10 are white Air Jordan 1 Mid. They are the Nike Hoops Air Jordan 1 Mid, and these are set to release on April 30th, 2020 for a retail price of $125 US. They went for this predominantly white upper with green and purple accents. Now, besides the green and purple accents on the shoe, they actually changed the tongue on us too. We're used to seeing the Jumpman logo for the tongue on the Air Jordan 1 Mid. This time around, they actually went for 3 different emblems or logos on one tongue. So they have the Nike swoosh, then they have a basketball, and then they have the year 1992. Taking a look at the back of the sneaker, you also have the words breathe and center and breathe on the left and right shoes. Lastly, the swooshes. I don't know if they're patent leather, but they definitely have this sort of glossy look to them, and I really don't think these are going to have resale value. So in terms of resale, I think they're going to sit. I don't think anyone's going to pay resale for these, to be honest. It's one of those mid colorways that I think will actually eventually go on sale. Number 9 is a sneaker I know a lot of Air Jordan 5 enthusiasts are looking forward to. It is the Air Jordan 5 Top 3. The Top 3, or what the series that Nike and Jordan brand do, is when they combine iconic colorways into one sneaker. Most recently, we've seen this theme on the Air Jordan 4 Top 3, where they combined, I believe, the white cement, the military blue, and the fire red into one sneaker, or maybe the bread outsole. I don't know. They also have done it on the Top 3 Air Jordan 1, and it's not a new theme or a new sort of aesthetic from Jordan brand or Nike, but it's the first time we've seen it on the Air Jordan 5. The Air Jordan 5 Top 3 is going to be releasing on May 30th, 2020. Now, these were actually pushed back from the original May 16th release date. As far as the retail price, these are going to be going for $200 US. Now, the 3 iconic colorways they're mixing together on the Top 3 Air Jordan 5s are the fire red, metallic, and grape colorways. The fire red accents can be seen on the midsole and outsole with that hot fire red. Shout out to all my Pokemon gamers out there. You have that grape hit on the tongue of the sneaker with that purple and teal mixed combo, and then the upper of the shoe is predominantly black from the metallic Air Jordan 5s, or black metallic Air Jordan 5. Oh yeah, 2 other details. We have the booty of the shoe that has the Nike Air branding. It only makes sense that they have the Nike Air branding on these. If they didn't, I think a lot of people would be disappointed. And actually, on the outsole of the shoe, you have a hit of the grape 5s with that Jumpman on the bottom. So my Air Jordan 5 enthusiasts, will these be a cop or a drop? Let me know in the poll in the top right hand corner. For me, these are going to have to be a drop. I don't see these having too much resale value in my opinion. I think they'll probably flip for $20 to $30 above retail price, but even the What the Air Jordan 4 sat here in Canada for quite some time and actually hit the sale prices or hit sale tags after a couple of months. The Air Jordan 5 Top 3, like all the other What the theme sneakers, I feel like it's just a very polarizing look, so you're gonna either really love it, or these are gonna be an easy pass, and for me, it's gotta be an easy pass. I mean, the Jordan 5 isn't one of my favorite Jordans anyways. Coming in at number 8 is an Air Jordan we're used to seeing quite often in the spring and summer months. It's the Jordan 11 Low. Now, I'm not sure about the official name for these ones, but they're a mixture of the Concord and the Breads. I've heard people call these the Bulls in the past, but this is sort of like a fusion or another mixture of 2 iconic colorways. They have the Concord upper, and then they have the Bread outsole. Now, the Concord and Bread 11 Lows sold out instantly, and I feel like these will probably sell out as well. To anybody who didn't buy the Concord 11 Lows or Bread 11 Lows, I feel like this is going to be a nice alternative. Now, these are set to release on May 23rd, 2020, so 1 month away, for a retail price of $185 US. Now, the last time the Concord Lows were released, they were released for $150 back in 2014, and resale on those is $350 US. But as you guys know, whenever Jordan Brand releases a Concord 11 kind of sneaker, people are gonna go crazy for them, so I expect these to sell out pretty fast, even though it's not an OG colorway. Now, am I copying these sneakers? Nah, I'm gonna have to drop these 11 lows. I'm not a huge 11s guy. I just think they look a little funny on my feet. Now, in terms of resale value, I do think these will have resale. I think they'll probably go for at least 50 or 60 US dollars above retail, and again, retail will be 185 US. So I feel like these are gonna go for 240 to 250 US dollars. On to number 7, the Air Jordan 14 Gym Red. I'm not really a Jordan 14 kind of guy, but when I hear Gym Red on any Jordan, it definitely has my attention. Now, the pictures on screen right now aren't of the official shoe, or they're not like official images. They are a Photoshop, a mock-up, but we did see the Jordan 14 get some love last year, and this will be the first Jordan 14 to release in 2020. Now, the Air Jordan 14 is definitely not a fan favorite Air Jordan by any means. I think most people stop at 13, but the 14 is like one of the last beloved retro Jordans before the 15, 16, and people stopped caring for the most part. And actually, the Jordan 14 Gym Red will be the last spring release. These will be releasing on June 13th, 2020 at a retail price of 190 US dollars. Now, will these have resale value? I don't think they will, and these are gonna have to be a straight drop for me. Coming in at number 6 are a pair of Retro 1 highs. These are the tie-dye Air Jordan 1. Now, the Jordan 1 tie-dyes will be releasing on June 11th, 2020 for a retail price of 175 US dollars. The thing is with this release is it might be a woman's colorway or woman's exclusive, but I do believe sizing will go up to a size 12 woman, which would be converted down to a size 10.5 men. I'm not really crazy about these, but I do think it's a cool colorway for the summer. Tie-dye, of course, being very popular for spring and summer. It's just, I'm not a huge fan of the color blocking on this shoe. I wish they went more of the Chicago way, not have that black toe box, not have that black tongue. If they went for it all white, I might have been tempted to buy it, but that black toe box and tongue are just enough to stop me from buying the shoe. These do have that Nike Air branding on the tongue, so if you have that Nike Air fetish, I'm sure a lot of you Air Jordan 1 Nike Air high top enthusiasts will love these for that matter, but I do think these will probably sit and not have really much resale value, similar to the Bloodlines or the Gym Reds or the Satin Jordan 1s that released a few months ago. One thing I would like to see is people customizing this tie-dye print on the shoe to make it like a different color tie-dye, because it's sort of like denim look of a tie-dye that they went for. It's not as colorful. You know, when I think tie-dye, I think of like bold pink and yellow and blue, not this sort of denim white blue indigo thing they have going on. Coming in at number 5 has got to be one of the most anticipated releases so far for 2020. It is the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red. These will be releasing on May 2nd, 2020. That's just about a week away. These were originally scheduled for April 25th, but they got pushed back because of everything happening in the world right now. And these actually got a shock drop or early release on Nike Sneakers app in America to coincide The Last Dance, Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls documentary that is now up on ESPN and Netflix. Getting back to the kicks, the Fire Red Air Jordan 5s will be releasing on May 2nd, 2020 for 200 US dollars. Now, these will be in its OG glory with that beautiful Nike Air on the back that we know and love. This is a sneaker many people have been waiting for a retro for quite some time now. This is a sneaker I feel like will sell out just because the demand will be there, but will the resale be there? I'm not entirely sure. I want to say yes, but then there's a reason I want to say no too. And that's because these released back in January of 2013, about 7 years ago, and they had no resale value for about the first 2 years of them being released, and then eventually they started climbing in resale. And the retail price for the Fire Red 5s back in 2013 was 160 US dollars. So they actually didn't have the Jumpman on the back, so you could say it's the Nike Air tax on these, but with inflation and everything, this is about the price you'd expect to see them. So 200 US dollars. And in terms of resale, well, I think these will have some resale. They're gonna be a huge GR. Don't get me wrong, Jordan Brand is not gonna make these limited at all, but I feel like the demand will be there. With it being spring and summer, it's gonna be the perfect time to break them out if we can get outside. But yeah, this is like one of the go-to summer Air Jordans. Like when I think of Air Jordan 5s, this is one of the first colorways I think of, and just busting that fresh white pair of sneakers out on a nice hot summer day. Ooh, I get emotional just thinking about it. But yeah, in terms of my resale predictions, I think these will go for about 30 to 40 US dollars above retail. On to number 4, which is actually 4 different sneakers that I'm putting into one because it is a pack. It is the Air Jordan 4 Metallic Pack. pack. Now the metallic Air Jordan 4 pack consists of the court purples, the pine greens, the university reds, and the team orange. We have seen metallic packs in the past with the Air Jordan 1 metallic, and those were really cool and popular. But yeah, this time around, it's the Jordan 4's time to shine. These will be releasing for a retail price of $190 US on May 16th of next month. Now all the Jordan 4s in the metallic pack have a white leather upper with very small changes in the accent color on the tongue and little like lace parts of the shoe. So they have the orange, the purple, the red, and the green. And I have a question for you guys for this release. Since there is 4, we can have a fun little poll with it in the top right hand corner. Which colorway is your favorite? Let me know in the poll in the top right. Let's see which colorway you guys like the best. Personally, I like the red colorway, but I do have a slight bias because red is my favorite color. This might have to be a cop in the summer, but I really don't think these are gonna have resale value. I think these will be a pretty big GR, similar to the Jordan 5 Fire Reds, but because they are releasing 4 different colors, that might make it seem limited if they're like keeping it to the regular Jordan Retro release numbers. But if they're releasing them in large quantities of each colorway, these will sit because that's a lot of white Jordan 4s to release at one time. So will these have resale value? I don't think they will. If you want to flip them at your own risk. But yeah, with it being summer around the corner, I think these Jordan 4s will be a go-to sneaker if you're able to keep them clean. Coming in at number 3 are the Air Jordan 13 Flints. Now, I'm not a huge Air Jordan 13 fan, and it might be surprising you thought I put these at such a high number on the list at number 3, but this is one of the best colorways of the 13s ever. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't like Jordan 13s all that much. I had the cherries for a while. Champ Sports sent them to me, but these Flints, I really think I might have to try and cop these Flints. Now these will be releasing on May 30th next month, and they were originally scheduled for May 2nd, but they've been pushed back. These will be dropping for $190 US. This is actually the 4th time that the Jordan 13 Flint has been released. The very first time was back in 1998, and then they retro them in 2005, and then in 2010. And the resale prices for the Jordan 13 Flint has now settled down over the last couple of years to I think around like 300 to 350 US off the actual accurate prices on screen. But when I was just getting into sneakers around 2014, 2015, the Jordan 13 Flint was reselling for about 600 to 500 US. Who would have thought that the price would have dropped so low? Like, what? What happened? Anyways, with it being 10 years since these sneakers last came out, I expect these sneakers to sell out, considering they did have high resale value for quite some time. So if you need to re-up, maybe your 2010 or your 2005 pair are completely busted, this will be the time to pick up a pair or 2 if you really love the shoe. Now, will these sell out? Will they have resale value? Well, I definitely see these sneakers selling out. And in terms of resale value, considering it's the 4th time they've come out, and resale is still pretty high at around 300 to 350 US, I do think these will have resale value of probably $50 US above retail price. So you will have to put in effort to get these. These will not be sitting on shelves. Coming in at number 2 is a pair of Air Jordan 1 lows. Yeah, low tops made my list, and they're actually at number 2. Who would have thought? This time we're talking about the Air Jordan 1 Low 85 Varsity Red. Now, there hasn't been a confirmed official release date for these shoes. It is still rumored for spring 2020, but there is some potential that these get pushed over to summer. I really hope not. The expected retail price for these is $90 US, or I think 130 or 140 Canadian. I have the proper guesses of the retail price on screen right now. It should be in line with the recent Air Jordan 1 Lows that have come out in 2020 and 2019. And the Air Jordan 1 Low 85 Varsity Red is of course inspired by its high top brethren, the high top version that was super limited, that has quite high resale value, and I think at least like 1K US. It's just a slightly altered version of the Bred Air Jordan 1 High. And as you guys can see on screen, there are some side-by-side comparisons to the high top version. So if you want to get the poor man's version or the budget version of that high top, this is gonna have to be the go-to pickup. And I think this might be one of the best low top Jordans of 2020. I'm really excited for this release. I know they're gonna sell out because of releases like the Black Toe and those other Jordan 1 Lows can sell out. These will most definitely sell out, especially with its high top version having such high resale value. And many people missed out on those those, but they still want that sneaker that sort of looks like that. You feel me? So I know my Filipinos out there, shout out to my Filipino Sneaker Talk fam, you guys will love these. Hoping I can cop a pair, and if I get a second pair or two, we'll try and do a giveaway, because I know this will be one of the most hyped Air Jordan 1 lows of the year. And I never thought I would say this, but if I do take an L for retail on these Jordan 1 lows, I am actually considering paying resale for these, so we'll see. And will they have resale? Well, I definitely think they'll have resale. I'm expecting around 250 to 260 US dollars, considering the black toes have skyrocketed over the last year. And yeah, these are fire, man. These are honestly fire. Even if you don't like the Jordan 1 lows, let me know what you guys think about the colorway, because it's probably one of the best ones we've seen. And last but not least, onto the #1 Air Jordan release for spring 2020. But before we get to that, I want to thank you for making it this far into the video. If you like these sneaker news style videos, please subscribe, hit that like button down below, comment that you guys want to see more, and I'll make more. But with that said, our #1 release is, you probably guessed it, the Air Jordan 1 High Game Royal 2.0. Now these have seen other nicknames. They've also been called the Royal Toe because they have that royal blue colorway on the toe box. They've also been called the Game Royal 2020s. It's another one of those 2.0 sneakers, like how we've seen the Pine Greens and the Court Purples also get a 2020 version as well. These are hyped, man. These are going to be one of the most hyped releases of spring and summer. They're releasing on May 9th, 2020, next month, for a retail price of 170 US dollars. Now in terms of resale pricing, I think these will probably go for 350 to 400 US at the start, and with the way things have gone for the Jordan 1, I expect the resale prices to rise and rise and rise, but I do think they'll be around 350 to 400 US for quite some time. Now let's talk about the colorway. The OG Game Royal had that Chicago 1 colorway with the white panels and the blue hits. This time around, the Game Royals really remind me of the Gym Red that we saw last year in 2019. However, those sat on shelves for quite some time, and they actually really had no resale value for quite a few months, but now they're seeing some resale value. So these on the other hand, I think they're quite hyped up because there really isn't too many blue Air Jordan 1s, and these really remind people of the Fragments. And that's one complaint I've actually heard a lot of people talk about, how they wish there was more blue on the sneaker. They want it to look more like the Fragment 1s, but if they make it look like the Fragment 1s too much, it sort of diminishes the hype and the rarity and the lust for the Fragment 1s. So this, I think, is the right balance of black and blue on these Jordan 1s. I'm genuinely really excited for these Air Jordan 1s, and I'm sure you guys are too if you're an Air Jordan 1 enthusiast or just a retro Jordan enthusiast in general. Please comment down below the top 2 releases you're looking forward to this spring 2020 from Jordan Brand. I'll chop it up with you guys down there. If you guys haven't followed me yet on Instagram or Facebook, please do. It's SneakerTalk. We have lots of sneaker content over on there, and feel free to subscribe and let me know if you guys want more sneaker content like this with sneaker news. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Quarantine, Quarantine buzz cut gang coming soon, maybe. The haircut's bad. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.